Pakistan politics and crises. Free and fair elections as the solution. Free and fair elections are essential for any democracy to function effectively and provide the public with a voice in the governance of their country. In the case of Pakistan, a history of political instability and military interventions has hindered the establishment of strong democratic institutions. The absence of credible elections often leads to a lack of public trust in the government and undermines the legitimacy of the ruling authorities. If Pakistan wants to address its ongoing crises, it must prioritize the establishment of a transparent electoral process where citizens can freely choose their representatives without fear of intimidation or manipulation. By promoting democratic values and ensuring that the election process is fair and unbiased, the country can move towards stability and effective governance. Presence of ISIS in KP. The presence of ISIS, Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, KP, is a matter of grave concern for Pakistan's security and regional stability. Terrorist groups like ISIS pose a significant threat to peace and stability in the region, as they can perpetrate violence, recruit new members, and destabilize the country through their extremist ideology and acts of terrorism. The government of Pakistan, along with international partners, must address this issue by strengthening intelligence capabilities, enhancing border security, and cooperating with neighboring countries to counter terrorism effectively. Additionally, addressing the root causes of radicalization, such as socio-economic disparities and religious extremism, is crucial in mitigating the influence of terrorist groups like ISIS. Allegations of India planning to attack Azad Kashmir. Tensions between Pakistan and India have been a long-standing issue, particularly with regards to the disputed territory of Kashmir. Accusations of India planning to attack Azad Kashmir add to the existing bilateral strains and can escalate into a serious conflict. In such a scenario, it is essential for both countries to exercise restraint and engage in diplomatic dialogue to prevent any further escalation of hostilities. International mediation and support for peaceful resolutions can play a vital role in defusing the situation and finding a long-term solution to the Kashmir issue. Deteriorating economy. A struggling economy is a significant challenge for any nation, and Pakistan is no exception. A weak economy can lead to unemployment, poverty, and decreased access to basic necessities for the population, leading to widespread discontent and social unrest. To address economic woes, the government must prioritize structural reforms, fiscal responsibility, and investments in key sectors such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure. International support and partnerships can also play a role in assisting Pakistan in its economic recovery efforts. Deteriorating law and order, human rights violations, and absence of constitution. The deterioration of law and order, human rights violations, and the absence of a strong constitutional framework are critical issues undermining Pakistan's governance. A lack of adherence to the rule of law can result in a breakdown of social order, increased crime rates, and a sense of insecurity among the population. To address these challenges, the government must prioritize human rights protection, strengthen law enforcement agencies, and implement reforms that promote transparency and accountability. Establishing a robust constitutional framework that ensures the protection of citizens' rights and democratic principles is fundamental to restoring stability and building a just society. Establishment ignoring public will. When the establishment ignores the will of the public and acts against their interests, it can lead to public frustration, protests, and political instability. The legitimacy of the government comes from the consent of the governed, and when the establishment disregards the public's voice, it can erode trust in institutions and sow the seeds of discontent. If the establishment continues to ignore the public will, it risks further alienating the population and exacerbating the existing crises. The government must prioritize responsive governance, accountability, and transparency to regain public trust and address the pressing issues facing the nation. Potential outcomes. If the establishment continues to defy the will of the public, Pakistan could face a deepening crisis. Public dissatisfaction may escalate into widespread protests and civil unrest, potentially leading to a breakdown of law and order. In extreme scenarios, This could result in political instability, calls for radical change, and even threats to the country's territorial integrity. However, if the establishment recognizes the importance of democratic principles and the need to address public grievances, there is hope for a positive way forward. Embracing free and fair elections, respecting human rights, and prioritizing economic reforms could help restore public trust, foster stability, and create a more prosperous and democratic Pakistan. In conclusion, addressing the challenges facing Pakistan requires a multifaceted approach. Emphasizing free and fair elections, countering terrorism, promoting diplomatic solutions, addressing economic concerns, and ensuring the protection of human rights and constitutional principles are essential steps toward a stable and prosperous Pakistan.